started to fall, and where were you? How could I know you were falling too? Grabbing the wind, cutting my skin, but it's hard because I'm falling. Tell me why I'm falling. Oh, life's calling, but it's hard because I'm falling, falling.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Nemesis podcast. And the regular season's over, boys. Season 7, regular season, on the books. Now, we're looking towards the play-ins and the playoffs. But first, I want to introduce a couple lovely men here. We got the man, Finn, a.k.a. DP Snail. What's going on?
I'm doing pretty good. This isn't my first time, but I'm excited to be here once again for another podcast as we are heading into the playoffs with this podcast.
And we have a man that has 10 times better skill than Mr. Finn, is Bubs, sitting up in Titan. Bubs, how you doing, my guy?
Good. How are you, Dan?
Doing A-okay, I'm just vibing. Sucks that my personal team didn't make the play-ins, but it happens. But let's get it started. So, like I said before, the regular season's over, and I'm actually gonna start out with a question right out the gate. The question of the week: what team, no matter what league it is, are you wondering on how they didn't make the play-ins of the playoffs? What team surprises you the most that did not make anything at all? No matter what league.
I think I'll go first. I think my biggest shock was that Bananas did not make playoffs, considering they had one of the best starts of any team. I think they were like 9-2 or like 8-2, and now they're 9-9. Like they went on a huge losing streak. And so I think it's probably them, and then if not Vanguard, considering they also had one of the best starts of any team, and then they went like 2-8 in their final 10 games.
So you
So
stuck up in Titan here
yeah.
as I'm reading something. Lol.
Um,
So you go ahead, Finn. Take it away.
I'd probably have to say I'm gonna stick in my league 'cause it's what I know best. I'm probably gonna have to stay with or my team is probably gonna be Aurora. I don't know if you guys know anything about them, but like they also had a solid start to the season with a really good roster that I would consider them probably a grand final team even if they don't win. But then all of a sudden, like a few weeks ago, they were like 8 or not 8. They had a winning record. But then all of a sudden they had roster problems where they started losing players. They couldn't field their team, and it all just went downhill from there from all the way to the end of the season. And now they're an 8-10 team, and they lost a chance at even play-ins.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. And for me personally, I'm gonna go to the rival league here. I have two teams, Chimeras and Distortion. They started out pretty hot, and they kind of just went down the mountain pretty quickly. And now they're the top two teams of the play-ins, but with their starts that they had, they were looking like they were top contenders in the rival league. So that's the little question of the week here. Who got snuffed out of the playoffs, play-ins, or just whatever your heart desires, right, guys?
Should we also do a team that we were surprised made it?
Sure, go ahead.
Well, then in that case, I'm gonna pick Ignite as they for more than half the season they only had 1 or 2 wins, and now they took the final spot in Novice as the 10th seed with an 8-10 record. Luckily, they're on the East. I believe it's the East. So they beat out a team that was 9-9 because we needed a second team from that conference, and Ignite got that spot.
Bubs, what about you? What are you surprised about that team that
Um,
you know?
I'm gonna go to the Bad Boys character. I'm gonna go to the rival league. I'm gonna go with my team, Vortex. Had a rough start. Started out 1-4, and then the entire team decided to quit. So we had to pick up 4 new players, and it was really rough for a while. And they went on a big win streak, climbed back into the standings, and then made a play-in spot by like an insane like 3-4-way tiebreaker. So I'm honestly just shocked that they even made it, considering how they started.
Now, I'm gonna say about the novice league. Yes, it's novice league. Novice league lives matter, whatever. But the Vandals are 9-9, and they didn't make the play-ins at all. But Ignite was 8-10, and they got the 10th seed. It plays into the rule books on who makes what of like. I think there's something along the lines of like,
Yeah,
certain teams from a conference need to make it.
yeah. As I was saying, I think it might be the Gorgons, because I think Ninjas, Spitfires, Diffusion, and Acceleration are all in the West. But for like there needs to be two teams at least, not in like the top four, two teams from the East and two teams from the West. And since those four teams are from the West, Ignite got a lucky break there since they didn't have as good of a record, but they were the highest, the second highest team out of playoffs from the East.
Yeah, I would be throwing my hands up in the air if I was the Vandals, especially have a better record, still not even making the play-ins. It's tragic. But on that note, guys, that's the question of the week, or questions of the week. And so we're gonna move on to the play-in bracket, as we have games going on this week, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday before the playoffs here, as we have a break in between the play-ins and the playoffs because of RLCS Worlds. So I'm gonna go to you, Bubs, first. What do you got for novice at the first match?
So for novice, my first play-in matchup, I think Diffusion is going to beat Gorgons 3-2. I don't know a ton about novice, but I'm kind of just basing it off of, I guess, seeding. I think that the Diffusion also had a bit of a better season than Gorgons, obviously, and I think they had a stronger finish as well. So I think they're definitely going to take that first match. But the second match for Acceleration and Ignite, I think that's going to be the closest play-in match, like, overall. I think it's also going to go to Game 5, like Diffusion and Gorgons. But I still think Acceleration and Ignite are such, like, similar teams that I think it's going to go to 5, and Acceleration will most likely win.
Oh, you have an upset because Ignite's they're on a
Oh,
streak,
huge
a
winning
winning.
streak, a
Yeah, they're on a
huge
huge win
run.
streak.
Yeah.
Very bold move, Finn. I already know you're an Ignite fanboy, so let me hear about Ignite going into the playoffs.
All right, so what I've got to agree with the first one for Diffusion winning. The only reason I say that, Gorgons is a very solid team, but recently they've been really inconsistent and haven't been performing to the top level that they needed to. And I think Diffusion will just have the upper hand here in a game 5 and win 3-2. However, in this second matchup, Bubs, you don't know much about Novice, but Ignite, they have a very, very, very good team with Rooney, Vita, and it's Charles. They are a very good team. They beat Frost, didn't they? They beat
With the
Frost
subbing,
there.
with the subbing.
Hey, hey,
Okay, my
hey.
bias is showing. My bias is showing. Okay, all right. Let's
Um,
continue. Let's continue.
but they are a very solid team with, and a lot of people are saying that they will probably even go to grand finals, and a few have even said that they'll win. I don't know about that. I mean, hey, a little bias coming from myself. Well, I think my team's gonna beat them out, but before they get to the grand finals. But I have Ignite winning against Acceleration 3-0. Acceleration's not a bad team. Don't get me wrong, they're not a bad team, but it's in my opinion, it's a blowout here with Ignite winning 3-0. And Bubs, did you go over the third match?
Actually, did not.
Do you want to do that quick?
Yeah, I will. I think to take the final play-in spot, or take the final playoff spot from the plans, I think Acceleration is gonna go off of that win against Ignite, and they're probably gonna, in my opinion, gonna win 3-1 pretty simply against Gorgons. I don't think it'll be like too close of a match, just because Acceleration beating Ignite will be such a confidence booster for them. So I think they'll pretty easily beat them. Could be a 3-0 sweep.
Yeah, well, with mine, it's kind of the same thing except different teams because you thought acceleration, I thought ignite, but I have ignite beating Gorgons 3-1. Like I said, Gorgons have just been really inconsistent, and I don't think that they'll have what it takes. Oh, can you hear that?
We're just good.
That's my laundry machine.
Very nice. All right. So for me, myself, and I know Ignite's on a hot streak. I kind of made the roster happen by trading for music, which I got rid of Rooney. So I know what Rooney can do, and I know what the team can do. But their weakness, I believe, is defense. They are a mechanical team. I will give them that. Rotations will kill them, and I think defense will kill them if they get in a bad spot. But I do have Ignite winning 3-1 against Acceleration. And that was the match 2. And on the other side of things, for the top half of the play-ins, the Fusion versus Gorgons, I have the Gorgons. I'll switch from both of you guys. I have Gorgons taking 3-1 over the Fusion, as I truly, like, it's Can's org. Even though he has decent teams, I truthfully don't know. It's always random. I don't, like, his teams have never had pop-off potential. It's not necessarily personal. Well, I guess it is personal to the players that are on the roster, but I just never really seen any of his teams really make it deep into the playoffs or even make the playoffs a lot. So that's kind of why I have a little bit of a nod against the Fusion and them not winning. So I got the Gorgons taking the 7th seed and going to take on the Frost Boys. And then for the match 3, I have Ignite sweeping the Fusion. I do truly believe Ignite's going to go on a hot streak once again. They're on a winning streak. I do think it's going to come to an end sooner rather than later. But especially in the play-ins, these best of 5s, like regular season, it's not like playoffs best of 7. But as soon as the playoffs hits, I think it's going to be a whole new ball game for these teams. Any final thoughts on novice play-ins, guys, before we move to prospect?
No, but do we just want to go through the playoffs, or do we want to just go through all of the play-ins then the playoffs?
We'll do the play-ins this week, and then we'll do the playoffs next week.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. All right. Or we'll probably go through the first round next week.
Mm-hmm.
So, Bubby boy, what you got for prospect?
All right, I'm gonna make it quick and simple. Minotaurs are gonna 3-0 Hypernova.
Minotaurs?
Yeah, did you say Minotaur?
Minotaurs,
Yeah,
Minotaurs.
dude, I don't watch Prospect. All right,
That's not even I'm watching. It's a name,
dude. Okay,
Ah,
so they are going to 3-0 Hypernova. In match 2,
Alright.
I think Rooks are gonna take down the defending champions, if I'm not wrong. Velocity.
Yep.
And they're gonna go in right off that momentum, and I think Rooks are gonna take down Hypernova in 5 and make it into the final play-in spot or playoff spot.
Very interesting. Finn boy, you're up.
Hey, well, so for my first match, Minotaurs versus Hypernova, I actually have Hypernova winning 3-1. I don't know much about Prospect. I don't know much about these teams, but I think Hypernova will pull out a win here against Minotaurs, 3-1. And then for the second match, Rooks versus Velocity, I have to agree with Bubs. He did a 3-1, but I'm gonna give it to Rooks in game 5. And then so Minotaurs versus Rooks. I think the Minotaurs will pull this one out. I don't think the Rooks will be good enough to beat the Minotaurs. I don't know, Dan. This is more your knowledge, but I have the Minotaurs winning 3-2.
So I have played against a bunch of these teams. Not all of them because I came like halfway through the season, but I know what's up. So as myself personally, the last week of the season, I swept Melons and Minotaurs. So that was very interesting. But for the first match, the Minotaurs versus Hypernova, I have Minotaurs winning. It's hard to beat Rogue and Snazzy overall. They're very good players. So I have them winning in a 3-1 fashion. I just don't think Hypernova's good enough. they were shaking a lot near the end of the season, winning 1, losing 2, whatever the case may be. They don't seem like a complete team to me. And going off that on the match 2, I think Rooks, as soon as they traded away Yu-Gi-Oh, I think their hopes have shot down like so much. So I got them losing against Velocity in a 3-1 fashion here, and the Rook season will come to a close. So in the final game of the play-ins, I have Hypernova playing Velocity. I have Hypernova squeaking out a game 5 against Velocity. Velocity has been struggling more than Hypernova. That's the reason why I would say Hypernova is going to get this in 5. Critter is very good for Hypernova, but I just don't think realistically, Hypernova, whoever wins that game 3 there in the plans, gonna make it far. I don't think it's gonna be true because they have to go against the Melons in the first round. But on that note, we're gonna send it up to Challenger, as we're gonna move on. So, Bubs, would you like to say anything about Challenger, sir?
I do. So I actually originally had Dissolved beating Bishops, but I'm gonna change that. Just based off of the match that we had on Wednesday night between the two teams. Or between Venom and Bishops. I think that was possibly a match of the season candidate. It was a really intense series. Went to game 5 overtime. And if can't remember his name. Best player on Bishops.
Kratos.
That guy.
Damn, the people in Bishop's gonna be pissed if that's not their name.
I don't. I know.
It's Kratos.
I know Kratos.
Kratos is a goat. If he pops off like he did, Dissolved, they're going to get 3-0 swept. I think if Kratos struggles, then I still think Bishops will win 3-2 against Dissolved, and plus it's Kane's org, so it's probably cursed. And I think Drakes are going to beat Orbit. I think they'll probably take it 3-1. Honestly, I like going with lower seeds because I think lower seeds have more to prove. Or less to prove. Like they're kind of just going in there like, we win, we win, and we lose, we lose. So I think then Drakes will go into match 3 against Bishops and lose 3-2. And eventually get knocked out of the playoffs, obviously, and Bishops will take that final spot. Or wait, no, Dissolved will lose because I changed my bracket. Sorry. Dissolved will lose 3-2 to Drakes, and Drakes will move on to the playoffs.
Alrighty, Finn, as we had somebody join the channel that we were in.
Who was
Yeah,
that?
that was music.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Finn. Would you like to say challenge your plans?
Yeah, okay. Well, first off, I just have to say, Kratos, you suck. That's a joke. Don't worry. That's an inside joke.
Whoa.
Don't worry. Me and Kratos are
Toxic.
no, but yeah, I have to agree. I have Bishops winning 3-1. I would say 3-0, but I think Dissolved will have enough to at least take one out. From what I've seen from the Bishops so far, I've seen a few of their plays and a few of their clips. They use like team play a lot. They pass around. I know on the Nemesis TikTok, they have one of the recent TikToks. It's from one of their stream games, and it's a really nice passing play using all 3 of them. And if they just do stuff like that, they won't have any problems in this play-in tournament. So I have them winning 3-1, and then for the Orbit Drakes, I see Orbit taking this one in game 5. There's not much to it. I don't really know a whole bunch about these teams, but I know that Orbit has a solid roster. I know the Drakes have Daydreams. That's about all I know for the Drakes. I don't really know any of the other ones. But I've seen the Orbit team play, and I think they're a very solid roster, so I have them squeaking out in game 5. But then in match 3, I again have Orbit winning in game 5 against Dissolved. I just don't think that they'll have what it takes to win in that game against Orbit. Not much to it.
It is very interesting. And so I'm going to jump into my stuff here. So for the first match, I have Bishops and Dissolve. Bishops, I overall think is the better team. Dissolved, Cans, Org, and also two of the players that are on the current roster now were on my roster, Snowstorm, at the beginning of the season. They started off 1-5. So that's all I can say about that. Yeah, they're an interesting team, to say the least. For match 2, Orbit and Drakes, I don't think Drakes have what it takes. I think Orbit wins in 5. I think Orbit is a little bit stronger of a team. Drakes, I just don't see it. No offense. It's just saying Orbit's just squeaking out a little bit better. For match 3, Dissolved and Orbit, I have Orbit winning. As I said before about Dissolved, two of the players were on my Snowstorm roster. Not that it's like hateful, but they did start off the season 1-5, so it's pretty shaky. I mean, they could have changed because it's over a half a season ago. But if they were losing then to teams, what makes them think they can win more now? No offense, guys, but I have Orbit taken 3-1 fashion over Dissolved in Game 3 for Challenger. Now we're going to start getting up to the big boys, Rival League. And Finn, I'll pick you
Me.
this time.
Changing
Go
it
first.
up. I like it.
This is getting a little bit out. This is pretty much out of my league now. You maybe a little bit, Dan. This is more definitely Bub's territory, but for Chimeras and Distortion, I don't really know.
Chimeras.
Oh, okay.
No, you said
No.
You said
Yeah,
Minotaurs.
I know.
No,
Chimeras.
Chimeras. I said
Chimeras.
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 Oh, it's Chimeras? Oh.
What it was chimeras?
Charmeleon.
Yeah, I don't really know much about either of these teams, but I just randomly picked not really my league to be dealing with, but I picked Chimeras 3-1 over Distortion, and then match 2. I hate to say it, but I gave Whiteout the 3-2 win.
Yeah.
Oh, no. No. My former team. Wow. Wait, those are my
Yeah.
two former teams.
Actually, yeah, Vortex is in your org, my guy.
No, I was on Whiteout when I first joined the league.
Oh, you coming back, baby? Let's
No.
go. Let's go.
I gotta drop like 400
Yeah,
MMR.
he's gotta
Wimbledon
drop
Rocker,
in.
man. Come on down.
We're both
No.
gonna get
Speaking of
banned.
Rocker, man, he's in the corner of you guys' screen. You probably already noticed, and we've
Yeah.
completely ignored him. So, he is here.
He's
Present.
He's got his beautiful mirror pick.
Yes.
but,
Anyways.
Yeah, carrying on. I don't really think that the Vortex team is gonna win. I know it's like Vortex in 4 and everything, but no. I like the Quick Snail. Quick Snail. He's on Whiteout. Snail kind of matches up with DP Snail, you know.
Brothers?
Yeah.
Quick
Cousins?
Snail,
No.
former Vortex member, by the way.
I don't know who that is.
Oh.
But so yeah, I got Whiteout winning 3-2, and then I hate to say it again, but I got Whiteout winning 3-2 against Distortion.
This guy is cringe.
Let's go.
I wouldn't be too happy though, Dan. That's just a hint for the future. I wouldn't be too happy.
Well, I'll tell you a little bit more about the future when it's my turn. But I'm gonna go to Bubs now, and then I'll talk to you
Alright.
about my future.
Alright, listen up. Match 1. I got faith in K and Org this time. I think they're gonna beat Chimeras 3-1. Move on into the playoffs. Alright? I'm confident about that pick. I think you saw what Distortion can do if they're all playing good. I think they're gonna make it. I really do. I have faith in them. Whiteout and Vortex. My two former teams. I won a championship with one team. I lost in the first round on one team.
Which is which?
He
I
lost in the
lost-
first round for
I lost to
Whiteout.
Vortex when I was on Whiteout. It's
But
gonna
you
be
won.
the same way around. Vortex are beating Whiteout 3-1. Loosh, Saucy, Ice Panther, Flame Intruder, whoever plays, they're 3-1ing. It's obvious. Dan's org just is kind of washed now. It sucks. Other than Blizzard.
What?
Other than Blizzard.
Frost sucks.
And then, you know what?
Damn, what the hate?
This is just assault now.
It's because
Oh.
I'm on crows.
And then
And the ignite hole, yeah.
And then Vortex, obviously, they're gonna 3-0 Chimeras. They're going on into the playoffs. Then they're gonna upset Hydra like I did in season 4, and then they're gonna win the entire thing.
Very interesting.
It's so biased, but it's okay.
So Finn, I'll tell you a little bit about Whiteout's future. And yes, Whiteout was the only team to beat Hydras this season, and it was in a sweep. So I got faith.
How many
Speaking of
subs?
faith,
Hey,
How many
Hydra,
subs?
Hydra just probably wasn't trying. How much money did you give Hydra, huh?
Biscuit's already made too much out of this league. He doesn't need any.
so anyways, for Chimera's Distortion, Chimeras and Distortion, as I stated before, have fallen down. I said that the question of the week. So it's gonna be a tough one. I do think Chimera's gonna squeak out a game 5 though. Mr. Trash Boy himself's gonna maybe carry the load out on the garbage truck, send them on their way down to the lower play-in game. And come on, I have to pick Whiteout. Yes, it's biased, but I mean they have been doing pretty good.
They're gonna lose in rival or in first round.
Very nice. But I do have Whiteout winning in 3-1 fashion against Vortex. I truly think Whiteout is a better roster than people think it is. Not saying it's the best. I think it's up there. Because, I mean, Larry Carey, I don't know what else to tell you.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Larry's good.
Larry is very good, and I know he's going to be in Titan next season. I can tell you that for a fact, unless they move the boundaries up a lot.
I mean, he swept Pinnacle.
Yes, he
You gotta
did.
give him that.
And then we have Whiteout versus Distortion. Whiteout beat Distortion earlier in the season, so I have no reason of why they can't do it again. They did beat them, so I'm gonna have to say 3-1 in favor of Whiteout beating Distortion. Cans org, bye. And then we'll talk about playoffs next week. I'll go more into detail about Whiteout when they get there, beating Hydra and 4.
Whoa!
Yeah, no, I don't know about that one.
That one's pushing it.
It's all good. But Bubs, I'll send it to Finn. Ha ha, got him.
Damn.
Because that's your home. You get to talk a little bit later.
Yeah.
Finn.
I'll go last
you'll
here.
do
I'll go
last,
last
yeah.
here.
Finn.
We don't really know. I don't know much about this at all.
We'll start with you because this is way literally out of your league.
Yeah, we'll say that. You
It's a
know,
little
I'm
novice.
totally not going to be a Titan next season, but yeah, no, I'm not. I said.
Sandbagging and novice?
I just said
Confront?
it.
Hello?
Blaze has the clip.
By the way, thank you, Glaze, for recording for us. Yay!
Yeah,
Woo.
at 1
We spammed him
a.m.
with messages.
No, we didn't. It's totally not 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's who needs sleep anyway?
Right, not me. Go ahead.
But anyway, for the first match, Pinnacle versus Vanguard, I have no idea about any of these teams, so I just went with a random guess: Pinnacle 3, Vanguard 2.
Okay, Finn.
Aw.
What if
Bubs-
I tell you?
Bubs-
What if I
Bubs,
tell you
Bubs-
Arrow
Bubs-
is on Vanguard?
Oh wait,
He absolutely knows nothing.
I know Arrow. I know Arrow, and that's all I need to know. All right, well, all right, so now it's Vanguard 3, Pinnacle 2. Now that I know that info, because I know Arrow's one of the best Titans, but that's all I know.
This is why he isn't a GM, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa.
But match 2, Bananas versus Inferno. I've got to give it to Bananas here in a 3-2 fashion. I like I said, I don't really know much. I know Caden is on Inferno. That's about all. But Inferno has a history of being one of the worst, if not the worst team in Titan. At least that's
He's
what
calling out everybody.
Oh god.
that's what I remember from season 5. They were not a good team at all, and it's just what I know
Shots
about them.
fired at the fireworks.
Dude, you better not go in Titan general.
Jeez.
I'll go in there right now and I'll add you, Bubs.
Jeez.
No.
Anyways, go ahead, Finn.
But for match 3, Pinnacle versus Bananas. I'm gonna give it to Pinnacle in a 3-1 fashion. Like I said, again, no nothing, but hey, why not? Pinnacle used to have Luca. They might still have that essence of Luca still there.
It's not there.
Me and Bubs are nodding no pretty hard.
I'm
They,
an honest.
yeah.
I don't know much about it at all. But yeah.
You
So
good?
you can take it away, Dan. Yeah.
All right. So, Mr. Me personally here, I'll give you a quick hint on the future real quick.
Blizzard's winning. Yeah, it's obvious. Okay, let me get my thing
Anyways,
straight. Nobody knows.
Wait,
It's sad.
hey. What, next week, Dan, I think you got to put that fedora on when you talk about your Blizzard team.
this one.
Gotta be classy. Yeah, you gotta be classy about
They're
it.
gonna win. It sucks. I hate it. 3 times. Jeez.
In a row.
Okay.
Anyways, we have to talk about play-in bracket though, because that's what's important this week. Totally not Blizzard winning it all. Anyways, Pinnacle, I have them winning over Vanguard 3-2. Arrow has some special potential. Yes, I do think he's very good, but I think Pinnacle squeaks out in the game 5 because Magic Mike is Magic Mike on Vanguard.
Wow, what's that supposed to mean?
I've seen him play.
What's that supposed to mean? Give some MP.
He's a good player, but hey, listen,
Did you watch the stream game?
I did.
Oh.
I absolutely did. And Magic Mike was on Blizzard at one point as well. So, sorry. And just anyways, I do think that Pinnacle's going to win in a game 5. Vanguard, I do think is a good team, but I truthfully don't see them going far into that game. On the other side of things, Inferno Bananas, I have easily Bananas winning against Inferno 3-1. Inferno hasn't been that good. Finn, shut up. Nobody cares about Inferno.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, Bananas are definitely going to win that game 3-1 fashion. Then you have Vanguard versus the Bananas. And I have Bananas taking 3-1 over Vanguard.
Ooh.
Bananas, I believe, I said this before too, are an underrated team in Titan. They were in a division not only with 18-0 Krakens, but also with Blizzard. And I think we can all agree that those two teams, you could even argue, are the best two in Titan.
You're going to argue that.
Wait.
I said arguably.
Blizzard and who?
Krakens. I said arguably. Everybody has their own opinion.
I think Spartans are better than both.
Okay. You guys lying.
Anyways, it's a tough division. Okay, I'll just put it to that. It's a tough division. And I think they have conquered a lot more than what people were thought at the beginning of the season, because I remember Squirrel was just saying, I don't know, I got Doodle on my team, whatever. They won a lot more than they were expecting. So I truthfully do believe that they'll cement themselves as the 8th seed and going against Krakens in the first round.
Get swept.
Sure. We will talk about playoffs next week, but do you guys have any final thoughts on anything about leagues, play-ins,
I know we're gonna talk about them next week, but Bubs, I'm surprised you have Vanguard 4 winning Spartans. That's all I gotta say.
That's playoffs, and I still have to do my plan.
Yeah. He gets his little 5-minute rant about plans.
Okay, go ahead, Bubs.
The
What you got?
highest league in the Nemesis Gaming League. The best of the best. Unfortunately, for Pinnacle, they will not be playing their best, and they are going to get 3-0'd by Vanguard, because Arrow told me that he fixed his computer, and when Arrow is on good FPS, he will beat anybody.
I can't take Dan serious eating his Blizzard like this.
What'd you get?
You can carry on. He's just
Eminem Blizzard.
Okay,
just eating his Blizzard.
you can keep eating that then. That's a W. Match 2. My man Caden helped me get Supersonic Legend for the first time. Did not boost me, helped me. I have faith in him.
That sounds a little like boosting.
No, he has the ability to carry a team. I think Butters, I played with him for like 2 games in Nemesis, but
I
he was
can't
good.
believe it's not Butters.
Nice. Butters is good, and the other guy, very solid player. We play them. I know their third is also very good. They're a really underrated team, honestly. I think they are going to beat Bananas, with all due respect to Bananas, in a 3-2. But then Pinnacle is finally going to win a few games, and I think they're going to actually win the series against Bananas and go on to the playoffs to play against Krakens.
Crackalacken. Yes.
Krakens are getting second rounded by Blizzard.
Oh, I didn't say that this time.
Oh, I said it.
Yeah.
Then Blizzard plays when Gonza in Grand Finals when Gonza won.
I'm not gonna spoil anything. Dan might have already looked at my bracket, but I'm not gonna spoil anything.
I won't say anything because we'll talk about it next week or 2 weeks,
Oh,
Did you look at it?
maybe.
biased.
Biased.
How is it biased?
I don't know. Guess we're gonna find out in 2 weeks when we talk about the
Yeah.
first round. I don't know.
Maybe we'll talk about it next, or like, I guess never mind. Not next
Week
week.
or two, whenever we record it. I guess I don't know. Whatever.
Just here, mark my words here, Glaze. When Blizzard three-peats, people are going to realize that they don't play the game seriously until playoffs. When they three-peat, mark my words, they're three-peating. And I hate saying
Does
that.
this mean that Dan will probably get GM of the season for the 3rd time in a row as well?
Dan, how many teams of yours made the playoffs?
This
Or
season?
play-ins? Yes.
Play-ins or just both?
4.
Both.
Isn't it 4?
Either.
3.
I thought
Alright.
Charlie made it.
This is the first time that I've had a team miss play-ins out of my 3 seasons as a GM.
Dang.
Yeah, season 5 was an okay season. You had all 5 go to playoffs, but only 2 won.
What about last season, Finn?
Only 1 won.
And I had like 3 first seeds.
Well, you
Well-
had Blizzard, so you automatically win off of
Yeah,
that.
easy claps. Final regards, anybody about anything play-ins, Nemesis related?
Watch the games starting Monday, August 2nd, tomorrow on twitch.tv/Nemesis Gaming League. Gonna be fun. Got some really exciting games tomorrow night. Going to be a great series.
And also, since we won't see you guys until after the RLCS Worlds break, at least you guys won't see the next podcast, even if we record it before then. Enjoy the break. For all of the people who made play-ins or playoffs, congrats. For all the people who didn't, it happens. You'll get it next season, though. Don't worry. And just enjoy your break. Watch some RLCS, and yeah. Dan, you can take it.
In conclusion, I do believe season 7 was a wonderful season overall. I mean, I might not have the success that I was looking for as a GM, but overall, I think the league has expanded to a point where there's a lot more competition involved with everything, and it's truthfully good to hear. As we're a community and we would like it to grow. I mean, yeah, we all play Rocket League, but also I think we could say friends for some people. I know there's a love-hate relationship with a lot of
Everybody.
people.
I like everybody. Everybody chooses to hate me.
You like me, Bubs? I thought you
No.
hated me.
Oh my
Um,
god!
I
But
have a clip here of Bubs saying some very mean things to me.
oh no! But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this little episode of the podcast for the play-ins. If you haven't heard your team for the playoffs, like we've said multiple times already, we're gonna do a first round whenever we record the next podcast. So don't go anywhere. We will be continuously making podcasts as we've heard that you guys truly enjoy just listening in, just to see your thoughts, trying to hear your name every once in a while, and seeing whose teams are looking good and whose teams that we suck and roast all the time. On that note, see you guys later.
Bye.